Welcome to another episode of TCEA Remote Learning. You can find more episodes at tcea.org/remote learning. My name is Miguel Gulen. I'm a Director of Professional Development at TCEA. You can reach me via email or Twitter at mglearn. And of course, you can call me at 1-800-282-8232. Now, our topic for today is one that I think a lot of teachers have to deal with this, especially when they don't have access to tech support staff to help them out. And even when you have access to tech support, this is a fantastic thing to know how to do. And basically, that's how to create your own digital mail merge for parents. We often run into parents that may complain and say, "You're not staying and keeping me in the loop." And unfortunately, not all parents are signed up for some of the learning management systems that we typically use to stay in touch. For example, you still have to get connected via Remind or Seesaw, Google Classroom, and other learning management systems or communications. But one of the key components for those communications is email. And how do you make that initial contact when you can't send a note home with the child? So we're going to explore 3 simple ways to accomplish that, and we're going to take advantage of Google Sheets and some convenient add-ons that can help automate this process. Now, I'm not going to go too much in detail. I will try to sort of model some of this as we go through this, but I do want to point out that I've included video tutorials that you can watch that sort of guide you through this. And I have a detailed blog entry that sort of walks you through and shows you some illustrations of my favorite tools. One of the great, easy-to-use tools that you can start out with is something called Yet Another Mail Merge. If you haven't played with YAM, it makes sending emails very easy. The way it works is you just go into your inbox. Let me go ahead and clean mine out. And you compose a message. So here we go. I can go in, and I'm not going to put any names in the to box. I'm just going to say important announcement. So very simple email. I could put in a lot more information here. If I wanted to, I could come in and attach files. I can insert emojis if I want to. As if that's appropriate and professional. But notice that I have not addressed this to anybody. I've left it pretty much scratch message. There's nothing. It's not addressed to anyone. It just has the title, the subject, and the content of the email. I'm going to close that message, and notice that it's going to save it and close it. What happens when I do that is that message that has not been sent or addressed to anyone gets thrown into my drafts folder. If I didn't have a drafts folder before, I have one now, and it has one message inside of it. That is important because one of the cool things about draft messages is that you can always come back and add more content. So again, I can close that message, and that draft message is there. And now I have a little bit more content in there. Once I have that email developed the way I want it to be, I can go to drive.google.com and create a new Google Sheet. So I click on Google Sheet. And in this Google Sheet, I'm going to include some information. So I'm just going to call this important announcement number 1. Okay, and so I'm going to put in first name, last name, email, and I think that's pretty much. I probably can put in parent name, or let me just say student name. So this would be, I guess, my parent first name, parent last name, and what we're essentially doing is creating a spreadsheet that has some critical information for us. So let me just go ahead and quickly I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to quickly make up some emails here. And so now I have a column that has parent emails, I have a student name, and then the parent first name and last name. Now, to use yet another mail merge, just like all the other add-ons that I'm sharing with you today, what you need to do is go up to add-ons, and if you don't already have yet another mail merge, and there's no reason why you should, you can go here to get add-ons, and then do a search on, probably do a search on YAM, and it will pop right up. You can see that there are several mail merge add-on solutions here, but I'm going to go ahead and go with yet another mail merge. Notice that it does have quite a bit of information and tutorials. You get 50 emails a day for free. So if you have more than 50 students that you want to email in one day, the next add-on that I share with you is going to be one that you'll want to use. But for yet another mail merge, works pretty well. We can click on Start Mail Merge. Gives me that working message, and it's still working. And when it's ready to go, it says you currently have a personal plan. You can still email 100 recipients from this add-on today. If you invite friends, you can. You have one installation equals plus 50 emails a day. I'm going to go ahead and click on Continue. And notice that it has the sender name. It's got my name there. And then it says email template. And so what you can do is you can say, oh, I want important announcement. You remember that that's the one that's in my inbox. Okay. So now that I have that there, I can go through and you see where it says send 3 emails. It will send the email out to each of these folks and with the message that I've shared. You can also choose to receive a test email. So if I were to click receive a test email, I would get that. Okay, let's go through this again a little bit. What I've done is backed out of the add-ons, and I'm now back here where I've added some comments. And I want you to notice that I have comments for each of the students. So for example, student name and comments. And I wanted to show you what that sort of looks like in the draft. So in the draft, my important announcement, I've added something pretty important. I've added to the parents of, and then I have these brackets here with student name inside of it. So when I come back to my spreadsheet, I can see I have the student name that appears here, and I can click on that, and I can choose to put the full name of the student. Okay. And that full name will actually appear inside of these brackets. Now, I also came up with some comments that I wanted to add, so I'm going to put those in italics and sort of indent them. So as you can see, I'm actually just putting that in there. So I've included some feedback, and yet another mail merge is going to do something pretty amazing. It's going to take the information that I have in the student name column in my spreadsheet and put that right there. And then anything I have in the comments column, that's going to appear right there. So let me close that, and let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to go back to my add-ons, go to yet another mail merge, start a mail merge. It's going to run for a little bit. As we wait patiently. Again, I get this message about if I want to buy the personal plan or invite friends. I'm going to go ahead and click on continue, and make sure that I have the fresh copy of my draft loaded in this message. Now what I'm going to do is actually come here and when I click on receive a test email, I'll get an email that is a test message. And then when I click on send 3 emails, it will send it to everyone that's listed here. For whatever the reason, my screen seems to have frozen. Let me reload my screen. Again, repeat that process of going to add-ons, yet another mail merge, start mail merge, and now I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm going to click on receive a test email. It'll say check your inbox to view the test email. It'll take a moment to get there, but if I come back to my inbox, I should see a message, and this is one that I sent earlier, but I'm still waiting for the new one. There's the new one, and you can see it says to the parents of Miguel Gulen, hi, thanks for reading this email. That's that general message, and then some feedback for you. I have then so that appears there. So this makes yet another mail merge a very easy tool to drop content in. If I were to click send 3 emails, it's actually going to send those 3 messages out. And what's really neat about yet another mail merge is that it gives you a tracking report. So you actually know if parents have received the email. Isn't that amazing? Not only have they received it, but have they opened it? Did they click on anything? And it shows that to you. So that can really be quite a bit of, that's a pretty amazing resource. So we could sit here and wait to see if the if these three people, let me go ahead and come back. There's the email announcement. This is the one that's being tracked. I'm going to click on it. Okay, I got it. If I come back here, what I would hope to see is that a status update. So you can see something's happened. It says the email has been opened. So that's a pretty amazing thing, and then it'll it's a great way to stay in touch. Now there are other tools to accomplish a very similar objective, which is to basically send this out, and I've included them in here. You can go to Formule, and I really have an illustrated walkthrough in the blog entry that I'm going to share with you in a bit that sort of shows you how to do this. One of the neat things that you can also do is, you see how I've added, I have the parent first name, last name, their parent email, the student's name, and then I have different comments. And so these are just, you can use the same draft message, but you can just come in and add a new comment if you need to, or if you have different areas that you want to share, you can do that. The second tool that I use quite a bit of, especially when I have more than 50, is Formule. It's a little bit different and complicated, but there's this fantastic video that I've linked here will walk you through that process. And then I also have the link in the chat. I mean, in the resources up a little bit higher. There's also ability to email parents, the email parents script via Alice Keeler. And she has, like I said, a detailed tutorial, but basically you type in your email message up here, you add individual notes, and then everybody gets the email message, but these students get the individual note. So a very simple way to get the message out there. I think that yet another mail merge is one of those easy tools that you can check out. Right down here at the bottom is the TechNotes blog entry. And it sort of walks you through the process. There's an illustrated walkthrough of how you can use Formule, and talks about some of the other tools that are available. So thanks for watching this video on how to do a mail merge. I think that if you ever have to send out home learning codes for Seesaw, or send out custom messages for parents, being able to do a digital mail merge is really important. So I hope that you'll get a chance to try that out. If you have any questions or you get stuck, don't hesitate to reach out. My Twitter address is @mglearn. My email is mgulen@tca.org. And of course, you can reach me by phone at 210-617-3330. And don't forget, tca.org/remote learning is where we have other videos that you can watch. Thanks. Take care.